Hi there, viewers. You are watching Team Fortress TV. I am Sideshow. With me is Max Money with DavidTheWin on the camera, and we have the definitive fixture that decides who makes playoffs in that final spot in ETF2L Season 23, powered by TT Esports. Max, it's a bit strange to see these two teams battling it out to join DD plus 5 abs in the Premiership playoffs. Do you think?
Yeah, I think seeing Lego and Publiclir going into it before the season is yeah, that makes sense, these two teams. But then that you see DD5 is above them in the fixtures does make it a little bit weird. But I guess they've had a great season so far then.
They've had some phenomenal fixtures, DD5 abs, but they have secured their spot in the playoffs, so it will 100% be Nerd Rage, Perilous, and DD5 abs in the playoffs. We don't really know which way round Nerd Rage and Perilous will be, but we do know that those three teams are going to be in there. So this fixture now decides who will be the fourth team to join them. Is it going to be the Lego team, who finished fourth last season but are really struggling this season, have had some incredibly inconsistent results, thrown some games, honestly. The one against DD5 abs was appalling to watch, frankly. Their performance on product, they'll be hoping not to replicate such a horrible performance again against Publiclir tonight. And Publiclir as well, they will be loving that single point that they managed to get from Nerd Rage earlier in the season, because that has put them 1 point ahead of Lego here. That means if these two teams draw, if they take 3 points each from the fixture, then Publicly go through.
Wow.
I know. Let's take a look at the ETF2L tables. The players are trickling into the server, but I'm going to bring them up just about now and see how it looks for everybody. So you can see those teams there and how they all stack up, the wins and losses, and you can see that Publicly are 1 point ahead of Lego, so they need the victory on product. That's what it comes down to, because if they give up those 3 points on product, then they literally cannot come back on Badlands. So it's all down to this map, really. They can't split the points. There's no golden cap wins or losses. It is all down to product.
That's absolutely huge. Only that one map. If they do win it, we're going to have a pretty interesting other map on our hands for this coveted fourth playoff spot. Looking at Lego's journey, right? They started off as pretty much this all Danish lineup in slamming Div 1. Then they finally moved up to Prem, and they pretty much got themselves slammed, right? And then They had the big roster changes, and they had some pretty damn good results. A couple fresh faces to Prem, let alone the roster. And then decent results, but this season they've just been kind of slipping, really. I feel like it's just consistency is something they severely lack. Hopefully they can bring it together. They've had some mumble problems, as far as I know. Some people usually don't have the best. They're not good at taking challenges head on. When the pressure hits, they can tend to crack, which might be a problem. But they can also just power through that. The team has some amazing talent on the Sorex and Dmoule is probably names you've heard a million times watching Lego games, and rightfully so. They're just monsters, and on a map like Viaduct, or Product, excuse me, they can really pull something out, especially with sniping.
They certainly can. They got beasted by some of the Ixie sniping, etc. But I've just brought up the results for the two teams previously throughout the season, so you can see where it all went wrong for these teams making it into the playoffs. Lego had a guaranteed spot if they could have performed against DD plus 5 abs. That was really where it went wrong for them. They should have taken that game and absolutely failed to take points on product, where they were 2-0 up and then threw it away to lose 3-2. And Gullywash as well was an incredibly tight fixture that they probably should have come out on the better end of, but let it slip away from them. Great consistent play though from DD plus 5 abs on that map particularly. And on the other hand, Publicly have had really consistent performance trading maps against all of the lower level teams. They traded maps against Force Kings, traded maps against Planet Express, traded maps against Infuse, but crucially won against DD plus 5 abs, which if there had been an upset there, then we wouldn't even be seeing Publicly in the same situation they are now. And again, on the side of Lego, it's really lucky that they managed to get those 3 points from Perilous as well. Otherwise, they'd be stuffed. So it has been a crazy season. People trading maps and points all over the place.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, we're looking at what's this? 12. I can maths. 12 results on the screen, and there's only 2 wins on it. Like, that's pretty crazy. Like, everyone else just kind of drew with everyone. Like, that's pretty cool to see. All the games really close. Talent's been stepping it up. New faces are doing pretty well against each other. Maybe the top still, kind of trashes them for now, but that'll change. Give it like another season or 2. They're all competing against each other now. They're all going to have reason to keep getting better,
Absolutely are. Let's take a look at the saloon fixtures as well, because they're fairly evenly split. The money cannot decide where it wants to be put. Lego were on about 30%, but just before the game has gone live, they've shot up to around 50, and it's almost dead level, to be fair. I mean, if I had to push a prediction from you, Max, do you have any idea which way this game is going to go?
I'd say Lego, but that's entirely based on like personal bias, and I'll admit that. Like, if I'm objectively thinking about it, I don't know any of these players. Who do I root for? I honestly couldn't say, but I think I'd have to give a slight edge to Publiclir going into it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think there's a load of interesting factors that come into play when these two teams are heading up against each other. Let's take a look at the Publiclir team sheet then, given that they are your choice for taking this fixture. We'll load up their sheet. It's taken a while, but there we go. This is the roster for Publiclir.se. You got Onkaya on Medic, Smira on Demoman, the 2 soldiers, which they can't make up their mind who's roaming and who's pocketing. And then Atomic and Flip on scouts. And Atomic and Flip, in my opinion, are going to have to go ham if they want to take this product game. They're up against some talented scouts from Lego as well.
Lego scouts incredibly decent. Sorex, the Pasta Brain fame scout, godly DM, like, can just have moments of like not missing a shot. And traditionally, this map does usually come down to scouts. In that direct matchup, I would probably have to give it to like Flip and Atomic. They're both so incredible. Flip once playing at the top of European Team Fortress. Sadly couldn't make it to I-52, the bigger land then. Atomic as well has had pretty good success, beasting a couple seasons on Scout. I think him and Flip together is pretty devastating and can definitely get something going on this map. But it might come down to like which demo can make more room for their scouts as well. That's how this map can sometimes go.
It absolutely can. Let's have a look at the Lego roster as well. Just quickly flash that up on the screen for you. That is Condom on Medic, Dr. Phil on Demoman, the 2 soldiers Josh and Dmoule, and Sorex and Izon. It's taken a while to load. What is going on with this this system? But that's the roster anyway. Whether or not it's on your screen, I can't affect how the ghosts within the machine has worked. Oh,
I have it now.
And now the other one's just come back on. Publicly, no, go away, you fools. Okay, come back, Lego, please.
TF2.
There we go, Lego. Lego is back. Condom, Dr. Phil, Josh, Dmoule, Izon, and Sorex. And they performed really well last season. They came forth. Can they repeat it again when it really matters? Last season, they missed out on playoffs as well because there's only 3 teams in it. This time, they have an opportunity to make it into the playoffs, and we're going to find out right now, Max, who can take it on a Koth product. I'm going to give it to Lego, actually. I know you pumped for Publiclir, but let's take a look. Who are you watching on the first mid? Who do you think is going to make the difference?
I'm going on Dr. Phil this one. He's coming in through this main side trying to get some stickies, but actually just gets hurt himself a little bit. Both teams just choosing to feel each other out right now, not really making a move. Both kind of around behind their rock where it's safe, just waiting for someone to go in, and soldiers jumping in forward right now. So it's happening across the other side. Both of the Publiclir soldiers are just streaming across, and they're picking up 3 quick kills to secure themselves this first middle. Amps is their only loss so far as the fight keeps happening. Flip gets 2 kills to clean it up.
Yeah, Dmoule was trying to lock down this tunnel area, but actually took tons of damage from Flip. He should have secured the frag on Flip, but instead managed to take about 150 damage, and that opened the way for the double bomb from Amps and Medico, who streamed down the right-hand side, pushed the flank out, and managed to catch Condom on the point, along with the majority of the rest of the team. So they have come out with a dominant midfight here. They've got control of the point. They're going to take out at least 30 seconds, probably more. And they also have the Ubercharge as well, because Onkaya did not die. Lego, how are they going to approach this? They're don't really look like they want to send in suicides. Instead, they've put Dmoule on sniper, and they're seeing whether they can find a line onto Onkaya. But he's so far away, and they haven't got any cap time. They're just letting the time bleed off the point here. They need to be proactive about this. I think they're just going to wait until they have the Ubercharge up. I really disagree with this kind of play here from LEGO.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, that's buying them time and that's what wins the map, but for Publiclir, so like it's losing LEGO the map slowly but surely. They're trying to get like some room for Dmoule, but like all the players were just on their cliff. They could have easily pushed forward, but now they are, with Uber Publiclir jumping across. Ingi gonna use to defend his pocket right there, and action all over the point. Little air shot there from Josh to take down Smire. He's going to see the soldier behind the rock. Can he get the other one? He's aiming at him. Oh my god, great surf step by Condom to stay alive during all of this, and AMM finally goes down. Although there is a player down as well for Publiclir.
There is. Flip actually disconnected there, but he's back in anyway. It didn't change the flow of the game that much. They lost some early picks though, and that's how they managed to lose a point. They had to take a proactive Uber, and it ended up coming out better for LEGO, but they've ticked off half of the time on the point. 1 minute and 44 seconds left for Publiclir, and they only need one good Uber v Uber fight, and holding on to the point for the same amount of time. Ams gets picked though, and Medico gets taken down by the air shot from Josh, just paralyzed in the air. And they're taking so much damage as they're coming forward. LEGO are doing an excellent defensive job of holding on to this, and Dmoule as well on sniper. So it seems like both of these teams are having trouble actually attacking the point and seem perfectly comfortable defending it. So they need to think of some other way of being able to get enough room. Ams and Medico looked like they wanted to play that proactively, wanted to play aggressively, but took way too much damage. Yeah,
they just got shut down instantly. It kind of happened to the rest of the team as well. As they started showing themselves, they instantly just got focused and taken down. But they're going to have another crack at it. Pocket jumping at the rock there, trying to get the spam onto this sniper in China. So far, they're doing okay. Big double bomb right now to go behind from Medico. But he's just going to get knocked so low while he's even doing the jump. Meanwhile, both Ubers are being used. Ingi has to flash his scout. So it's not going too well for them, but they do still have the point after all of this. Players are all over the map right now. This is kind of crazy. LEGO are keeping themselves centered. They know that Medico, or AMS, excuse me, is behind. And finally going to get taken down by Sorex. Great cleanup. Only 3 remaining right now for Publiclir, and they're going to have to start backing out. LEGO commanding the first half of this game, the first round of this game.
I cannot believe that Dmoule survived there on 2 HP, just floated away from the rest of the bombing soldiers. He baited out the bomb from Ams and Medico. They even used the end of the Uber charge towards him, and he just drifts away on 2 health, completely baiting out all of them. And now he's got the sniper. Oh, he gets a fully charged body shot. Oh, no, Kyron twizzles around, gets a headshot on Medico as well. Great sniping from him, and those are the 2 key targets they need to retake this point as well. They'll be repushing with all of their heals. Can Ams manage to find any picks? He's just being chip shot down here, and the time is still ticking for Publiclir, but they are now quite significantly behind, and LEGO with only 50 seconds are going to recap this point and have a huge Uber advantage.
Yeah, this is a really good position for them. They just kept their numbers up that whole fight. Dmoule with those 2 great headshots, and LEGO just kind of kept it up as all the players just rushed into them. And now it's still, they're holding the point. They've been good at it so far, and now with an Uber advantage, they can only be better at holding the point. Publiclir choosing to try and get into this one a little bit slowly, kind of their players going out of the house, trying to feel it, but like eventually the bombs are going to come in now. Smire gets some great damage onto Dmoule, takes him down, but Phil's going to take down Smire in return. And I don't know where they're going for the sniper while they push. It does look like it. They're trying to get the cap time now. And LEGO coming forward, the Uber finally used from them, and they're going to start pushing the Publiclir players out, but the health on the Publiclir players is just that bit better. After the Uber, it's not really done too much, and now with these numbers they can come back in. LEGO all over the point, and the Uber is coming up for Publiclir now as they finally slam into LEGO. Sideshow.
LEGO have managed to take those 50 seconds off the clock though, so all they have to do is recap once, and they have 1 minute and 24 seconds in time left to do it. So if they just send in suicides now, they should be able to force the Uber out of Onkaya, and they'll have a 50% or more advantage to do it. I don't like this decision just to dry push and play the point, because they have the Uber charge and they might get caught by it. Oh, and in comes Ams's Uber charge. They're streaming forwards. Condom has died, unfortunately. He's gone down with that huge Uber advantage that they would have had, and instead of going for the suicides and making it easier for themselves, they now just have, you know, like a straight non-Uber v non-Uber fight, and that puts the ball a little better for Publiclir here. They have 45 seconds to hold on to the point. LEGO is still in a pretty good position. They have the overtime situation to play. All they have to do is recap the point once, so they know Publiclir that LEGO are going to play for it, but they're just looking to bait them onto the point.
Yeah, the pressure's really on them now. There are stickies on this rock. I wonder if they know about that, as their heavies are going to start going on this left side. Smither's going to be the first pick, so the stickies don't even matter. LEGO trying their locks right now. All the health on Publiclir is really bad right now, and LEGO, I feel like they sense it. They're all on the point right now. It's capping. Can they get the first round? Yes, they can. Solly's just spamming all that damage. Publiclir were never even in a position to defend that point Sideshow.
Yeah, they baited LEGO onto the point, but then had taken way too much damage, and instead of conserving their health and waiting until LEGO had overcommitted and collapsing on them, they kept taking the spam battle as LEGO got onto the high ground. And it just worked out better for LEGO in the end. Really nice play. They did make it slightly more difficult for themselves than required, and the last mid-fight was a catastrophe, but this time Dmoule hasn't been stopped whatsoever, getting through the tunnel, and he's going to put down some damage onto Flip, Atomic, and Onkaya. They've streamed across the point, though, to avoid the bombing soldier. Unfortunately, Onkaya has gone down. Condom's still pumping out heals to the rest of his team, but kind of disconnected only with Sorik's great deny, though. And Atomic now on him. Sorix has completely deserted his medic, but Condom's giving him the wiggle. Can Atomic find the frag? No, he can't! And Sorix is going to pick him up. Goodness me, the condom wiggle coming out there, and Dr. Phil is going to come up to try and recap this point.
Yeah, huge clutch from Sorix there to save his medic, barely surviving. Atomic almost went completely ham towards the end of that fight. Someone just went ham and slammed Medico as he gets destroyed, as well as Onkaya. Now all the players sacking forward. Low health, Smither's going to take his turn to jump in now, but he's just going to get cleaned off as well. The LEGO keep all their numbers and the point right now. Good start for them after a not so great of an initial fight, but then they just rocket back, recap the point, better spawners. They knew it was all in there. Wow.
Yeah, during the LEGO DD5F game, where LEGO absolutely collapsed in the second half of the game, Condom had a really large amount of deaths. I think it was 19 in the end or something, and most of them were to the soldiers of DD5 abs. And he just needs to stay alive in these crucial situations. He pops off his supercharge that time. It only took amps bombing into them, but it's a safe pop from Condom. I think he was going to drop it, but in comes Medico as well. Unfortunately, does find the frag there. Condom was only on 2 health after 2 rockets, but strafed back into the 3rd, and he is going to die. But it's absolutely crucial for LEGO, just to go back to the point that I was making, that they keep Condom alive. That's not just on Condom. Sorix and Eisen have to be playing this more pocket scout role on product to compared to what they would usually do. Oh, in comes Dmoule, can't quite find the frag there onto Onkaya. He keeps hold of the Uber charge as well, so great opportunity here for Publiclir to come back into it, Max.
And they're prioritizing cap time right now. The Uber hasn't been used. It's a really good position. They are going to cap it out now. Dmoule's going to be up in 3 seconds, so LEGO are probably just going to try and bide their time until that happens and then go for some kind of aggression. Publiclir has just taken their positions. They've got the point. They know they just need to get the time going now. The point is being threatened by LEGO. When will they react? Now, as they're going to Uber in and straight away trying to rain down as much damage as possible. Gets onto Condom, but Josh just takes him down. His 4th kill of this round. Great play from him. Publiclir still trying to do this one with 2 numbers down. Finally, a pick onto Dmoule goes their way, but that's pretty much it. They're still fighting around their cliff. Can LEGO hold their numbers together and just repush the point? It's 3 down compared to 2 down. They're going to come onto it now. Smiray's going to get caught out there by Josh. Great play from him, finding another frag for his team. And surely they're going to recap right now. 1 minute 41 is what they're on.
Neither of these teams have been going for suicides, or when they have been pretty badly coordinated. So there is an opportunity here for Onkaya and his team to try that strat out. Condom has the Uber charge. Publiclir don't. They could send in the suicides, and that looks like Amps was trying to do there, but got absolutely obliterated. Smira, though, is in and gets some stickies and the threat of a pipe and pops Condom. But again, it's really messy. They aren't going at the same time there, and I feel like if Condom had positioned himself slightly better with his scouts, they would have been able to deny that aggressive bomb in. But LEGO are now trying to apply the counter pressure. They know that Onkaya doesn't quite have his Uber charge. On 70% it does go down. Actually, Eyes on flank finds the frag on the Swedish medic, and this has put LEGO in a fantastic position to hold on for another 50 seconds because they have that 60% Uber advantage. This is looking really bad here for Publiclir. They may go 2-0 down almost instantly.
That's really not how you want to start the first fixture in a map where you only have to draw. They're trying to see what they can get going. I think they're going to try something from this right side, and it looks like it's where they're pushing. How are LEGO going to choose to hold this one? They've been holding on their cliff before, but it doesn't look like they have time to set up. Smire again going to lead this charge, gets the force out of Condom. That's good for them, but let's see how LEGO actually handle this Uber, catching out Amps as he's trying to escape. Push the scout and the medic back into their spawn, just getting more and more time. Medico's going to get picked off by Dr. Phil. This is 3 down for both teams right now, but LEGO do have the point and only 10 HP. Let's see how this goes for them, Sideshow.
They have 2 minutes left, and Onkaya's running the crits creek. They're jumping onto the point because they have to block it. They have to try and get at least some cap time so they can play the overtime. And Lego are just going to give them the point. This is really clever play from Lego because it's actually easier to recap in an overtime situation than it is to fight the point and wait for the cap time to decay, etc. Dmoule going to jump in now. They want to get onto Onkaya. They know that he's got the crits, or they know he's got some kind of uber charge. And Smear's going to come out now with the crits creek. Launches it over towards Condom. Is he going to fit in? Yes, he does find the medic, but here comes the collapse from Lego players, and they're trading bodies all over the place. It's incredibly scrappy right now. Smear may get the better end of. Dr. Phil does just there. And Josh and Eisen going to be on the point. They're going to cap it off here. This is 2-0 to Lego.
Yo, did you see that direct by Josh at the end there? Like, I couldn't see if that was Flip or Atomic. It was like, good HP, he could have tried to help out Smire there. Smire was like 10 HP and Josh just hits this like god direct across the middle of the point. And then pretty much neither player has any health to do anything and they just sort of stand on the point and cap it out. Really nice there from my main man, Josh.
Lego went up 2-0 last time in their fixture against DD5F and then crumbled to lose 3-2. Medico's going to bomb in really fast now, and here come the scouts as well. Atomic pushing forward has found Condom completely alone. He's going to pick him off, and Publicler's aggression is netting them some frags, but have they extended a little too far? Onkaya is incredibly weak here, only on 50 health, and Sorix is coming in. He can't quite find the frag on Ams, which would have left him with possibly another pick on Onkaya as well, but he is going to survive. Onkaya has been surviving every single one of these mid-fights. It's put them in such a great situation, but then Lego, their repushes have been so much better. They need to be able to hold on to the point publicly, and this time they have a sniper to try and make it a little easier.
But Lego do have their own counter sniper. Let's see how this works out for them. They're starting to pressure.
Obliterated.
Ison wins that fight almost instantly. Let's see if the rest of his team can back him up. No, Dr. Phil's just going to get dropped by Amps there. That's one way to start it. Yo, it hits the shot onto Dmoule as well.
Is he going to find a third as well? He does. He picks up the sniper of Eyes on. Some great Ubers here from Ams. Keep it up, son. And he has held on to the point for his team. Excellent play. Condom does have an Uber advantage now, though. And this is going to make it much more sticky for Publiclir. They need to be able to force this Uber charge out as they start coming forwards.
Well, Atomic is actually in their spawn to try and do that. He goes out this right side, sees a scout, but he just gets shut down by Izon. Great play from him so far. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is behind this middle point trying to stop this Lego push, but it is happening. Time 6 on the point. Sully's going to try and jump in, but Amps is just going to get taken down. Condom down to 40 HP. Still got his Uber. Great milks from him. Smear is going to get caught out with spam. The fight in the house now. Flip getting finally shot to death. And in the respawn queue, middle still for Lego.
Another great repush, another fantastic repush from Lego. They're able to get so much space for Condom. Condom has a really good hold, actually. Amps bombed in and did about 300 damage with 2 rockets, but unfortunately only 100 of that was on Condom. And he held onto his Uber charge. They have Flip on Sniper once again, and it's Uber v Uber. They've lost Sorex fairly early on, and the spawns here do favour Publiclir, so they really should be trying to get into this one. The Uber charge is popped off here, and Dmoule's going to go forwards with it at the same time as Eyes on. Josh is just waiting to engage here, and oh, what a shot there onto Ams. Does knock him off the point, and he's going to get another one onto Medico. Both of the soldiers from Publiclir getting absolutely minced here.
Josh is a fucking manimal, dude. He's been slamming everyone this map. 4 down now for Publiclir, and the fight keeps going. Smith hits a nice pipe onto Sorex, but he's only like 10 HP or 50. He's pretty much not going to be able to come back here. 1 minute 50 remaining. They go pulling this round back off the back of Josh's amazing rockets. He's having such a good game today.
He absolutely is. Yeah, you can't deny that whatsoever. And Publiclir are coming in, trying to play aggressive again, while Condom is still building up his Uber charge, but they bleed players almost instantly, and their repushes are just nowhere near the level of Legos. In comes Dmoule as well, trying to put down as much damage as he can, just push them away here. They're bleeding players very slowly, and the spawns do favour Publiclir, so Lego might have to give up the point at some juncture, but they're trying to hold on to it with what little health they have remaining, and Condom is actually going to use the Uber charge. They're going to try and get aggressive here onto Onkaya, who's only on 85%, but there's no chance of getting onto the Swedish medic at this point, and surely going to have to give up the point here with a minute left.
I don't know, I like that Uber use because it buys them a lot more time. They can wait for their spawners and have like another repush. Like Publiclir have only just capped it now. It got them like 25-30 seconds, and now the spawners are going to be coming in, and they've won like nearly every last repush they've had 2 down still for Publiclir as well, so this is looking pretty good for them. The only thing is Unkaya still has his Uber right now, and that might be the big difference maker. We've got this ×4 halfway cap, the Uber finally used in from Amps. He's immediately going to focus Condom, but he's just subs away to safety on the pack, and after that he's going to get taken down by Josh anyway, as well as Flip. Medico now going down too. Smire's been knocked down to like 10 HP. The chase still going. Dmoule finishes him off. Lego just recaps. See, it all works out perfectly. It's the master plan.
Dmoule had them harried from behind that entire time as well, bought so much room for his team, and the entirety of Lego now just stacked up on the point. They only have to hold this for another 45 seconds for a clean 3-0 sweep, and Dr. Phil's getting sticky down and a pipe onto Onkaya. There was tons of damage put out there from Dr. Phil, and he'll be looking to mulch the rest of Publiclir as they go aggressive. They're going to try and get onto Condom, and they have forced it off. Condom's going to pop his supercharge to avoid losing everybody, and with 30 seconds left, this is dire straits here for Publiclir. All they need to do is get one map from this fixture to be guaranteed playoffs, but it's not looking good for them in the first map here. They would have to win this round and 2 further rounds in order to get the 3 points they need, and Lego are looking so good at the moment.
Only 8 seconds remaining. That's a time of an Uber charge, which is something that neither team has. Publicly going to try and make their last stand right now, jumping across this point, seeing as far as they can get in, but Josh takes down Atomic before that fight even starts, and Smire goes down to Phil. They're starting to cap it out now, but like Lego are going to be coming back any second. The health of Publicly is not too good, but it is beating the numbers of Lego, who are slowly going down one by one. Josh, Sorex, and Condom remain. What can they get going with this as Kaya charges? His crits, both Solly's on point. Is this gonna come to anything? He's peeking it!
Oh, goodness me, that pop from Condom. I thought he was going to drop the pocket and the medic. Great shot from Amps as well, just to deny that Ubered pocket. But Onkaya is going to be able to slip away. Josh couldn't quite grab the Swedish medic with the dregs of his Uber charge. Smear's going to get in. Oh, launches Sorex and destroys him with the pipe. Incredible stuff, but they might still lose it anyway. They've got much later spawns. It's 2v2. Medico gets an arrow, and Onkaya comes in. But Phil obliterates Onkaya, and they're going to cap here. This is going to be 3-0 max. What a game.
It was such a crazy finish. The Dmoule like flies in, directs Smire, then Izon just picks off Medico like sitting on top of his head, and then Phil just comes in to finish Kaya with his stickies and cap it out 3-0. What a 3-0. Like, that wasn't just a 3-0, that was like a 3-0, you know? Like, they really put the alpha in there, hitting all those sick moments. There's going to be some odd shots from this game, I can feel it.
Absolutely, it felt like Lego were really back to their top form. Lego are a really inconsistent team, and you can't often tell whether they're going to perform on any given day, but it looks like this is a good day for the Lego team. They absolutely came racing out of the gates there. Everybody just seemed to be on peak form individually, and the coordination they showed as they were re-pushing the point was sublime. They absolutely outclassed Publiclir on this map.
Yep, you couldn't have summed it up better. Like, yeah, that's exactly what I saw. Like, the scouts were just destroying everyone. Izon won like every scout 1v1 he took. Condom was like surviving so much. I think whenever he got forced, it was totally fine. Like that he used it. Like Amps jumped him and got like one really good rocket, knocked him down to 100. He knew it's Amps. He's gonna hit a 50 damage rocket, so he got jumped by Amps and Smire, and it also took like Smire coming in to get him to use it. Just I don't know. I feel Condom gets bullied, so I'm going to throw some positives. Those 2 things, they were really good, and I'm sure the rest of the map was fine for him too. However, the man that stands in front of him, if Condom's the shadow, you know, Josh is what's making the shadow, because that game, he was going huge. He hit so many obese rockets. Let's see if he put out some big damage numbers to go along with those.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the logs at the moment. Dr. Phil had a smashing game, and although Smira was pumping out the damage, he wasn't getting any frags for it, and he actually cost his team a lot of pushes in the amount of deaths that he had. So I think that's a bit of... if you organise by damage, it looks like Smira had a good game, but I would actually say this was a pretty awful game by Smira. He was... trying to beef up his damage by just throwing himself in a lot of situations where he would have been better off playing a little bit more passively, not being an early pick for his team, trying to extend the periods of damage and area control. So I think his damage numbers are a bit overflated, and KD gives a better showing of how he was actually performing in this map. But look at Dr. Phil, Sorex, Izon, Josh.
I know.
They're just... The KD, the fact that they were hitting all of their shots and pumping out all of the damage was just amazing.
Like I think the simplest way you can sum up these logs is look at all the red numbers and look at how much better they are than blue numbers, you know? Like, it's pretty much it. From score to kills to deaths to everything. And back to what you're saying about Smirre, there's a 2-word phrase we have for that. It's war damage, you know?
Yeah.
Just random sticky spam. Like, he also took 6k, so he's done 200 more damage than he took. That's like another good way to look at how valuable he was being. He did hit some nice pipes though, so that's something.
I think it's a bit of an underperformance from the whole team of Publiclir as well. This is a roster that should be performing at a higher level than they showed in that match. Although they were outclassed by LEGO, their approach to the game and the way that their players think about how you should be playing 6v6 can often lead to some strange idiosyncrasies in their play. For example, Amps and Medico, whilst in previous teams they have been kind of big pockets and putting up big damage stats and really carrying teams that they've been on, in this team they just throw their lives away for any opportunity, and they don't have that scout power or the Demoman damage to back that kind of play up. You can only play with 2 really aggressive roaming soldiers if your scouts play kind of a much more pockety style, take the heals and get the frags, and your Demoman is also pumping out damage from a safe location, and that doesn't apply at all to Publiclir. Seems like there's a real split between how this team thinks the game should be played and how they're actually able to execute the game.
Whoa. That's like a court case bombshell.
Yeah, it's really strange whenever I watch Flip as well. If you look at his stats compared to Atomic's, Atomic this season has been performing at a much higher level than Flip, even though previously Flip has had points where he was probably one of the definitely top 5, possibly even top 3 scouts playing in Europe. Back at kind of the I-52 area, Flip was really one of the top scouts in Europe, and he's shown glimpses of that this season. Really only 1 or 2 fixtures though. The majority of the time he's been underperforming compared to the scouts he's played against and the scouts that he's played with. And although Atomic was doing his best to get his team through it and was winning a lot of the fights that he was taking, the rest of the players on their team were just getting bodied by the damage and aggression that was coming out of LEGO.
Yeah, I don't ultimately think like Publicly were doing anything like too hugely detrimental, you know. There wasn't like these big obvious team beefs. They just couldn't really get anything going, you know. Like
they took way too much damage as they were coming up to the point as well. It wasn't. It was whenever they tried to make a play happen, whenever they were trying to get in or spam the point or force a Ubercharge or literally any play that they were trying to execute, they would take so long getting to the point of actually engaging that they would have taken so much spam. They're all weak, none of them want to commit, and they end up just being chipped slowly to death by LEGO. Whereas when LEGO were executing, they burst out of the gates, they push forward with their soldiers, they were able to push the people with heals to the front instead of all taking the same damage. It was just as bland as it sounds, it really was better teamwork as well from the LEGO roster.
They were definitely much more in sync, playing off like their spawns a lot better. I feel like they had just overall had a better grasp of like what the Uber situation was as well, like when they could use it. They were playing the clock like excellently, in my opinion. They were doing a lot of stuff, like they were willing to trade stuff for time. It's like, you know, it's like a kind of abstract thing, but they'd be like, we can do this now because it will buy us time for later, or we can afford to lose this time because if we do it successfully, we'll gain so much more and stuff like that. I really liked what I was seeing from LEGO, and I really hope that it continues in the next match.
Well, we are going live with the next map. It's Badlands, and it has started now. If Publiclir take this, they are still in the playoffs. They have got this 4th place spot, despite losing product in an absolute whitewash. So LEGO need at least 1 point from this. They need to take it to a golden cap or better in order to get their spot in the playoffs. And Amps is going to try and deny it. Goes in so aggressively. He's got the escape plan out, actually, but ends up going in the exact same place as Medico. They both get mulched by the scouts of LEGO. And as Josh Rocky jumps forward, this is still going to be a mid for Publiclir, it looks like. Given all of the space from Amps and Medico, they're able to stream forwards. And Condom and Dr. Phil may actually get caught out here as well. They are backing it up now.
Yeah, well, that was that Solibomb was happening. Smirre was just taking that opportunity to like pump out 1 million damage. Just try to commit on Smirre, got some good damage on him, but he got kept alive, and Flip just cleaned up everything. And that's sort of leading to this spy position now, as Flip also takes down Dmoule. This spire is pretty much secured by Publiclir. If they only need to win this one map, this is a pretty good way to start winning that one map. As there are already some of their players in lobby.
Oh no, Dr. Phil! Dr. Phil's caught out in main and Medico's trying to put spam on him. Josh is coming. He has to help because if you lose Dr. Phil there, the round is gone. You really cannot defend Badlands Last without your demo man. He does escape. That's that's a huge save.
Yeah, they went
there
to hell
from
and
Josh.
back. He managed to slip away, and then Sorex literally just ran into the whole team and then died immediately after Dr. Phil had that nice escape. But thankfully, Josh manages to trade and take Emps, so it's all good in the end. Publicly already backing out into their second, but the sentry's up for Lego. I don't think they'll overcommit to any kind of push. Doubt it anyway.
Josh wants to come forwards with this supercharge. He's got Sorex with him as well, and they're going to be peeking. They're going to see if they can get any space, any territory for free. But now that Onkaya and his team have made the decision to move forwards, I think Josh is going to spot that out, and they are just going to retreat back to last here. But Onkaya's going to come forwards with this Uber, and they're going to look to trade. They're going to spot out the defense here. They realize there's a sentry gun, and they realize that there's stickies on the point, people holding on the top left. And they were attempting to spam down the sentry gun, but Izon's doing such a good job at keeping it up.
Yeah, that was sick. I just watched the health bar go like down to 1 and then back to 100. Just frame perfect sentry health dispensing by Izon right there. Keeping that thing alive as it was getting spammed. It was pretty much the most interesting thing that happens before our last push, as both teams try and figure out what they want to do.
He's moved it as well.
Oh,
we do have a pause here, but that gives us a little bit of time to deconstruct this last push play. And the sentry gun has been moved. So Izon realized that they were spamming it from this top area. And normally teams, after they've done that kind of play, they're not going to do the same thing again because it's a little bit too predictable. So instead, they'll take the fact that they know where the sentry gun is, and they'll maybe Uber in their demo man with the knowledge that he's going to take down the sentry and then move on to try and put damage on other people and force off the Uber charge, or they'll try and double spam it from another area. But Izon has preempted all of that by moving it into a different position, and this one is very difficult to spam. It's actually a really nice sentry position.
It might have been like a super magical timing as well. If you look at like Publiclir's positioning, it looks like they're ready for like the scout demo Uber trade. Especially like somebody's got a sticky in here, the scout's like literally ready to go from 0 to 100 around the corner. It could happen. I don't know, though it still looks like they're probably just pressuring. But the sentry moving could be like a huge thing. If they do decide to come in from this top left area, that's just like gonna, if anyone hits spacebar, that's it. That sentry's just gonna like pin them and pretty much ruin the Uber, if they can even get anything going in the first place. But for Publicly, this is like a really good way to start. You get 3-0'd that last map, and then just straight away, you just dominate the middle, take the second, and come into last. Or, well, get ready to take the last.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be risky for them sending both of their soldiers so aggressive on the mid fight. Amps was in before people on Lego had even really got to mid and set up position, and he gave away his life pretty cheaply. He almost got the pick onto Dr. Phil, but not quite. He got a lot of damage out, and then Medico came in and just compounded on that, pushed Lego completely out of the fight, and the rest of the Publicly took all the position. So really nice work from them to capitalize on the double soldier aggression. If Publicly hadn't moved forward as quickly as they had, then Lego almost certainly would have taken that fight just based off the 2 soldier picks they had right at the beginning. But it was an excellent start, as you say, for them. It's just now really whether they can close it out. If you can put rounds on the board, then it's a huge advantage for your team, obviously. But so many teams struggle with pushing last in these situations. You know, they set things up really nicely for their team, but then lose control of it with a bad push into last, and it ends up being a very back and forth round. So if every time they deliver on a mid fight, they can deliver on a last push, they're gonna absolutely dominate this game.
Yeah, like 2 possible scenarios that come out of this is Publicly push last and it goes incredibly well and they cap it, right? And then they just have that momentum, another mid fight, another second cap, and another last round. It could kind of go that way, or they could beef this last push and then Lego does like a super quick recap, second, mid, enemy second, last, and that would probably just destroy Publicly's confidence, and then from there they'd slowly win it out. Or you'll have the most likely scenario. This push goes either way, and then the game goes even from there on out, regardless of if they succeed or fail in the last push. But it's pretty important. A first last push is usually pretty important for setting like the pace of the game and how teams feel.
Publicly as well have got some dilemmas with how they want to push this. Badlands Last is quite a difficult last point to push if you're not able to get presence on the cap point. The only thing that makes Badlands a relatively easy last point to push is that the cap time is so quick. So apart from that, the defenders have high ground, the entrances are fairly small and easily seen, and you can trade Ubers and deny ground. So the fact that Izon has this sentry gun and Dr. Phil has the stickies on the point really puts Publiclir in a bit of a pickle. If I was them and I was going to try and push in with this Uber charge, I think what I would do is go from main with Smira and whoever they choose from the soldiers. I honestly still don't know who's playing pocket actually, but say they choose Smira and Ams. And I would have Smira try and throw some damage up onto Condom and then spend the majority of the Uber focusing down the sentry and bomb the soldier in just to make sure that the Uber charge is actually forced. And then you can back out through main and try and repush through top, but I think there has to be some kind of repush play going on here where you're trading the Ubers, trying to take the sentry out of the equation and repushing once you have the top ground. Because if they just try and play the current meta, which is to try and get a pick before you even trade the Uber charges, I don't think Lego are going to give away a pick very easily, and it's going to be so difficult to get in or for a force play or something like that with the sentry gun down there. So it has become less popular to go for Uber trades, just dry Uber trades when you're trying to push into last and see whether you get the better end of it, but I think this is actually the best decision for Publiclir in this situation, and we have gone live again.
Yeah, Scout trying to peek through main. Not sure if he saw that sentry gun in the end, but Solly does finally spot it out now, I think, so they should probably start spamming that before they want to go with anything. Both Ubers are in play, no off classes for Publiclir. Sentry gun, however, for Lego. Let's see
Smira's found it as well. Smira's trying to launch some pipes in, and now he's got some stickies, so actually, because he wasn't even contested there, perhaps Sorex should have been slightly more aggressive on Smira in main, but just mulched the sentry, just found this easy angle through main, wasn't spammed at all, so I think that was poor play from Sorex, helping Izon defend his sentry.
How did Amps die there? Did he get caught out in main? Oh, okay. David told me he got spammed on the stairs. Do you know what Publiclir should do right now? Kaya should walk back to forward spawn, Amps should open it for him, then he can switch to the Vaccinator, and then they can just double Uber 2 scouts through main and cap the point, because the Vaccinator doesn't stop you from capping, and then you just survive the sticky trap.
It's actually a really interesting gimmick that I've been thinking about using a little bit more.
It happened to us, dude, and we cried.
It happened in the DD5 game yesterday as well. They chose to run Vaccinator on Badlands, and although I don't agree that running Vaccinator full time during transition plays and things like that is the best option, but when you're actually pushing Badlands last, strangely it can be a really good choice because the captures so quickly and because the only thing on it is really stickies, and the Vaccinator grants you resistance to the stickies whilst also letting you cap, which is something that for example the quick fix doesn't do, and obviously the Medigun doesn't do. So it can be an interesting gimmick play, but it sets you in a really bad situation if you don't manage to actually just cheese cap.
Yeah, because then you're all on the point and you just get spammed down. And that's kind of how like Badlands Lost is in general. Like your objective as a pusher is to knock people off the high ground, spam them, and then get on the point. And if you do that if you do all those things at the right time, which publicly look like they want to try to do with both Ubers getting used, as I'm making my point about nothing. Smira stickies himself off in this main. He's going to get out. And casualty there being Dmoule, Philip, and AMS. Lego are going to be in a nice position to start moving out now and take the fight to their own second.
They certainly are. They are tentatively poking. They realise that none of the Publiclir players are in lobby, and the Ubers are equal, so this is really passive play here from Publiclir. They're almost inviting a fail push out of Lego, and I don't think Lego are going to bite. They're pretty content just to hold on to last. They know how tense this is. They know how much is on the line here. They have to win on Badlands, or at least draw in regular time, and Publiclir are not letting anything go wrong. They are holding as passively as possible.
Yeah,
let's take a look at Izon on Sniper as well. He got the pick last time on Amson. This time again is going to find the soldier from Publiclir, and is that just going to force the rest of Publiclir to hold outside again? It looks like it. Yeah, they're taking up another passive position.
They were ready. I think they were more ready to run outside than they were into the last. I think they were just like on bats instantly as Izon gets those 2 dank headshots onto Amson Flip. But the question is Lego even going to try and push out? I think they're at the very least going to try a forward hold in lobby. There is some action around this drop down resub area, but it's not really going to come to anything. I think Publiclir are finally going to start moving forward again now. Scout's battling in reset, but not much else. Yeah, it's probably just going to reset fairly soon. Like, one team's just going to decide to go back to last. I think. I don't know, it does look like they're committing to this forward hold, Sideshow.
It does indeed, and Dr. Phil is holding from lower lobby or main, which is a really strange place for you to hold, and I think he may have been juggled down there or something, because that's not a decision that Demomen normally make. But he's going to back off with the rest of his team to last, and we are just going to see another Uber v Uber.
Yeah.
But there's no sentry up this time. There's no sentry, no sniper, no off-classes of any kind here from LEGO. So this should be slightly easier for Publiclir to get a decent trade. And they look like they maybe want to lead with Atomic here. He is just going to take the Ubercharge in from the top right. They find Dr. Phil instantly. He gets Dmoule as well. And he's just going to run onto the point. No stickies there. And that was so strange. Condom isn't able to pop off his Ubercharge in time to get down onto the point. Dr. Phil got caught way out of position, and that was really good actually from Atomic being able to, from whoever called the push really, to be able to realize that they could pick Dr. Phil straight away with that Uber. That's not something you see every day.
2 picks and a point cap nuclear play from Atomic. Let's see if him and his team of Publiclir can keep this up in the next middle right now, as we have Sully going to Closet, if we're being politically correct, while the rest of LEGO just go straight onto this point. Sully's going to jump forward right now, but Medico's going to be the
Smear's
first pick.
pumping out so much damage, gets Josh down, he takes a little bit of damage himself, and he gets sick pipe onto Izon as well.
Where the fight's continuing with LEGO still holding
Smear!
this.
He's just walked up slope as well, but Sorix is going to take him down. Sorry, Max, but Smear's just doing random things on the mid. He pushed underneath with 30 health, came up behind them on slope, and saw like 3 of them all grouped up. Could have hit, if he had hit more than just one pipe, he would have melted them all, but he did sufficient damage to distract them as well, and that was a full wipe there from LEGO. Publicly looking so good on the mid fights.
Man, DavidTheWin said Smear in my ear, and just every time I looked away from him is when he did something. It was pretty unfortunate, but it sounds like he had a sick mid, and his teammates aren't going to let that go to waste. They're going to cap Spire. Well, Medico did. He decided to go down to Dmoule, but with a big, fat Uber advantage, they're going to be moving into lobby right now, and I think it's going to be a pretty quick last push again. If this starts to speed up, it could be pretty bad for LEGO. There might be another pick in this resub area. What is happening? It's not a good place to go. But finally, the teams are going to stop messing around. I think we're going to have a last push coming in right now, Sideshow.
Here they come, they've used the Ubercharge in. Izon's got the sentry gun, which is just going to tickle them a little bit, but certainly going to put some damage on when they fall to the point. Izon and Josh have died though, and it's pumping damage out. The sentry gun falls though, and there's only 3 players left alive. Dr. Phil is still up, but as he dies there, this has left the point completely open. Dmoule, the only player left alive, and it's 2-0 before you can blink. This is a pretty good play so far from Publiclir, completely opposite from Product.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The pace has been pretty upped by them since that last push. The possibility of winning a last push and then carrying that momentum forward that I said earlier might be happening. I think this next middle will call whether that happens or not. Let's see if Smear can go God mode again, as he's quite faster than Dr. Phil this time. Gets the initial sticky. He's going to start raining that damage while LEGO is still playing on their ground. Dr. Phil's getting knocked down kind of low right now, as the rest of the Solis of Public are going to jump in. Amp's getting slammed, and Dr. Phil's going to trade there. Now they have a Sully behind. How are they going to do this one as the rest of the team is playing around their house? LEGO just grouped up together. Condom surfing, but he's going to crater in the end anyway. LEGO wins.
Great play from Medico though.
Yeah.
He comes in just at the end while the entirety of LEGO are distracted. Here comes the repush as well, and Josh has maybe sandwiched him. Did tons of damage to the scouts. Great shot from Josh. Takes down Flip. Perfect little sandwich there in between the corner of the house and Hoodoo, and utterly stuffs that repush, and that was a really excellent play from the LEGO pocket.
Yeah, he played super sick last map. I think he's starting to come into it this one now. He was just hiding. He knew that was coming. He read the enemy team's mind. That was pretty nice. Destroyed Flip with that rocket. And that's, yep, guaranteed first middle win for LEGO right now. Let's see how they hold it though, as the Uber's going to be coming in. Amp's getting some good damage. Smear following him up. All of LEGO are just smartly back out there. Are they going to repush? They do have this big Uber advantage to play off of now, but it's not going to be up for just some time. They could try something if they want to, but it does look like they're just going to let Publiclir have this mid for now.
Yeah, we should have a little bit of downtime here while Condom and his team consider how they want to push with the Supercharge advantage. Dmoule has not been performing on the mid fight so far. I think that's been the big problem here for LEGO on the mids. He got the pick on Smear this mid, but he really didn't get any presence for his team, and it didn't have an impact. They essentially won it 5v6. Let's see if he can improve on the further mids. And Dr. Phil is now bombing in. Such an aggressive Uber here. Onkai's been blown up in the air. Can Josh find the frag? He does. He gets him. But they've traded both of their heavy damage classes. So in comes the repush from Publiclir. And this may have been an overcommit from LEGO. They were so aggressive with that Uber charge. But you really just can't trade your Demo Man and your pocket for the med pick.
Yeah, Phil did some really good damage with that initial bomb, but it just couldn't be followed up on by his team, and then after that, the heavies were dead, and Publicly were ready to push in. They crushed him on the mid-fight with these deep solid bombs, and now they've got the Spire just to, you know, rub it in. Condom's only now spawning. That's going to give Nkaya a 15% advantage. It's not that big, but you can definitely play off of it if you time it right, but that's if they even know it's an advantage that they have. They're going to be building it, which is pretty good. Now let's see where they choose to go. I think they're just going to hold top lobby for a while. Dmoule's going to be there though. He's wisely just going to back away onto his last to safety.
Josh was running Spy there just for a moment to see if they had some kind of off-class, but he will have found out that Publicly are running just a cookie-cutter lineup with Uber Charge as well, obviously, because Onkaya didn't fall. So it's on LEGO once again, third time here to try and defend their last point. They have eyes on the sentry. Amson Medico peering down this right-hand side, and they have found a frag onto Dmoule. Dmoule just overextending in this left-hand side, giving the enemy team an opportunity to push, and in they come. Double Scout Uber, and the sentry falls. They're just chipping these stickies off the point, but Dr. Phil's laying them back down. Somebody needs to go and kill Dr. Phil if they want this push to work out, but Condom saves him with the Uber charge, and this could change the tide of the fight.
Yeah, after an amazing flash there to pretty much save this round for his team. Can Condom's team back him up right now? They do find the pick onto Flip. Smire and Nkaya are the only people here to keep the fight going. They realize this, they're going to back out. It's on LEGO to push now. They might be paranoid about some backcappers, but they shouldn't be. All of Publicly's alive players are pretty much at their choke. The fight for the Spire starts. Scout's going to get tagged pretty early on, and Dmoule's still down, so LEGO are actually just going to not feel this one. They realize Publicly are already there in time. 2-0 down though, 16 minutes remaining. You can play this way, but I don't know, I think it's time to, like, if you win that, you know, that's like a huge hoorah moment.
Ams is going to come in and try and get some kind of presence. Dmoule there was running Spy, but did he get chip shot by somebody? Maybe somebody saw him, bumped into somebody, and had to go back to spawn, change off. Izon's running Sniper, but it looks like the team want to push with this Uber charge through the bottom right. They've just Ubered straight in. They might find Dmoule once again. He's just escaped into the spawn area there, and Condom's got this Uber charge. Is going to be ready to pop it. This looks like it's going to be an absolute failure from Publicly. Atomic though wins the 1v1 against Sorix behind the point to give his team one pick, but that is the only frag they're going to take from this. Smir is so far forwards as well, watching a sticky trap. I don't think he's going to find anybody.
Yeah.
And they may even find Smir. He's going to get out to house there. I think he will be able to escape. Ballsy play, seeing if he can turn a pick. That really wouldn't have mattered that much anyway, but that was Atomic on Sniper as well.
Such an amazing last hold from LEGO there. Like, when they got jumped by the pocket, like, Condom just jumped down, he can't get shot anymore, he chose to focus Dr. Phil, he just walked into spawn, like, pretty much nothing was done with that Uber, and LEGO had all their health, all their players remaining. Atomic did get a pick on Sorix, but they knew where he was, so they just shot him down, and now they've got their Spire and an Uber advantage to play off. Is in such a good position off a solid play there. 15 minutes remaining, 2-0 down, they can definitely do this. Smire does have House and Choke stickied. Oh, he's changing that around now. But let's see where LEGO push from. It does look to be House Sideshow.
Here they come, Dr. Phil with this aggressive Uber once again. They do get onto Onkaya, great stickies, and they didn't have to overextend nearly half as far. And Josh's shotgun denying Am so hard there. May go down. No, he's actually going to get saved by a condom arrow, so that is a great push from LEGO. Caught Onkaya completely in that choke point, didn't have to lose anybody for it, and got another 3 frags as well. They're going to be rolling this one forward, should be able to take a free Spire and go all the way to last with an Uber advantage.
Atomic was hiding in this resub area, but he can't really get anything for it. LEGO are going to have their Spire, and for once it's going to be their turn to push last. It looks like Publicly are chosen to put up a sentry themselves to help their hold against a pretty damn huge Uber advantage for Condom right now. Let's see if LEGO can do their last push. That was such a weird way to phrase it. Let's see if Lego
do a last push.
Let's see if Lego can successfully do this last push as they Uber the scout in. He's going to try and focus down this pyro, but he's not getting any damage done to him. Finally goes down, but now the sentry's remaining. Can they take this down before the Uber fades? Yes, they can. This is starting to go well. With a click onto flip as well, they just need to keep it going. However, Condom's going to go really low, taken down by the scouts, and oh my god, Publiclir just destroy them as the fight ends there. Smire finding 2 picks of himself. Whoa.
Flip and Ams are the 2 casualties, but they're the 2 people who managed to hold that for their team. Flip did such a good job on Pyro, and I don't understand how he survived for so long. He was getting shot out by Dr. Phil, Izon, Sorex, none of them could hit him, and it wasted the majority of their Uber. And then Ams flanked at the perfect time as well, just crushing them as soon as the Uber faded. A great hold from Publiclir, really well-timed, coordinated flank.
Yeah, and I think they want to keep this one going. It looks like they're rotating their players to resub. Let's see where they go with this one. Lego are holding on their train. All of them are now in Valley, ready to go. Smire is spamming his stickies up. Oh, but Dmoule's just going to headshot Ams before this push even starts. Uber's going to be used. They're onto Dr. Phil, but can they take him down? They can't even do damage to him, it seems. A nice pipe there as well to stop this. He's still alive, finally goes down to Atomic. But meanwhile, Spire is just being backcapped. Okay, so all that fight was pretty much in vain, and they lost like everyone for it while Josh just capped Spire. Lego gonna be
Atomic's
in a good
coming
position.
behind now and nobody's seen him. He just creeps up behind Condom and whiffs his shots. He beefs completely there. Nobody realised he was there. They didn't hear the footsteps. Dmoule and Condom weren't turning around, and he can't even force off the Ubercharge. That's so unfortunate. And now his team's going to be on the back foot defending here against an Ubercharge advantage.
Alright, this is going to be Lego's second attempt. The last time they had the last push, they just couldn't focus down the pyro, and then they got slammed afterwards. But this time they're going in, they're going to focus him down pretty quickly. Josh getting the pick is starting to go a bit better for them. Now they're going to drop down. There's still sticks on the point. Someone needs to do something about that. It doesn't matter what, just get rid of them. Condom is going to go down, and Josh is going to get slammed. But Dr. Phil just jumps on the point and gets them the first round. 2-1 the score. 12 minutes and 10 seconds remain.
I was about to praise Smira, saying that he was having much better last defenses than Dr. Phil was. Dr. Phil keeps getting caught in these last defenses and dying, leaving the point undefended, whereas Smira stays alive, just tries to preserve his life above all else. Unfortunately there, Dr. Phil baited out the sticky det from Smira, who ended up detonating it, and then Dr. Phil just capped. So an unfortunate time to praise him perhaps, but he's going to try and get a better position on this mid-fight as well. Ams is denying people so hard. That slam down onto Josh there craters him in Valley and bombs in to take down Izon and Condom. What a mid from Ams.
Yeah, Ams went absolutely huge. And Kaya, the only casualty for Publiclir. Pretty good for them, pretty good for Lego as well. This means it's going to be even Ubers in the next fight, which should be the last push, because Publiclir are already on their spy, ready to cap off the back of such a pretty monstrous middle there, all off Ams. Just going huge, getting the picks early, bunch of damage. It's a really good play so far. 2-1 the score for Publiclir.
And you feel like Publiclir have had more control of the map as well, because every single mid-fight has been, apart from one actually, 3 out of 4 of the mids have favoured them. Their soldier aggression has been so much better on Badlands than it was on Product as well. And again, Dmoule, although he was trying to do something last mid, the rest of his team unfortunately got shut down this time before he could distract them. So it's just not quite working out for Lego on these mid fights. They keep getting forced all the way back to last as well. In every single one of the mids that they've lost, Condom has died. So it leaves them in the situation where they're definitely defending last. They have no hope of defending Spire. So perhaps, you know, if Lego keep losing the mids, then it's time for Condom just to play it a little more passively. Make sure that he survives along with the scout, and then they'll be in a much better position. They won't just be stuck on their last with Uber disadvantage repeatedly.
That's one way to go about it, or you could just sit on Spire and never push the mix-up, right? You know, you just, like, we're rounds up, they have to push into us, let's just make them do a shit push, you know? And that's probably going to tilt Lego as well. I know Josh and Phil really do not appreciate that kind of play. They almost drop Amps there, but he's quite safe. Lego finally going to back up to their last. The question is, do Publiclir give up this mix-up play, or do they go into lobby? It looks like they're taking lobby, and they're going to do a real last push, get more rounds up, and just secure their victory further, which is, I feel, the correct move. Like, would you rather be 1 round up or 2 rounds up? You know, it's a lot safer.
Yeah, even 2 rounds up with the time left isn't much of a cushion. And with 9.5 minutes left, there's all the time in the world here for Lego to come back into this one. Amps is going in though for the bomb. He's trying to force it out, but doesn't do any damage to Condom actually. and just gets mulched by Josh's combination of rockets and shotgun, and that's going to push Publiclir way out of here. And LEGO know this by now. They know that Publiclir are going to be sat really far back, so Josh is taking territory really quickly. He's managed to scout out the entirety of lobby, knows that there's nobody there. Ams has just got the quick respawn, and Atomic's dead as well, so this could be an opportunity for LEGO to push out.
They've just got these stickies on the spy to worry about. Let's see how they're going to do this. They're going to go from Bat Soldiers jumping. He's going to get kind of denied. Both the Sollies from Publiclir coming in now. We're going to have a big Spire fight. Lots of damage being done. Medico getting taken down by Sorex. There's going to be the first pick of this one. Slowly it's going LEGO's way, but they have... I can't speak Sideshow.
Oh no, Max's vocal cords have given out. Don't worry, Max, I'm here for you. The Uber charge has been popped off in trash, but Condom's trying to hold it on both of his scouts. They've both run away, and they're not going to be able to find anybody here in the counter Uber. Dr. Phil jumping forwards, and Atomic is on the back cap as well. Atomic's found his way into last dueling Josh for the cap, and gets it 3-1. Well, that fight lasted so long, and I thought that LEGO were doing a decent job of controlling the flank areas, but the longer you take to push out onto Spire, the more vulnerable you are to some kind of black cap play, some kind of flank play, and in the end they fell to it. So 8 minutes left and a 2-round deficit here. It's still possible, but they have to at least tie it up to make playoffs.
I believe they can do it. They only need to win this map Publiclir, and they've been doing it pretty well so far. Can they take it on this middle? So far, LEGO have been the ones who've been crushing it position-wise. Huge bombs by Ams just slams everyone down. 3 down for LEGO. Will they lose anyone else? Dr. Phil quite low, but he's already backing out. Izon is going to take down Flip. That's something. He's going to come in with the scout partner, but Smire's just got that sticky ready to destroy him. Sorex in really deep right now. He's going to try and make a play onto Kaya, who's 95%. I don't think he's going to be able to get anything going. Atomic's going to finally take him down.
The big issue here for LEGO is that they are losing Condom within the first 5 seconds of the mid-fight. Rather than learning from their previous mids and playing Condom in a more passive style where they can bait him out and force Ams and Medico into unfavourable positions with their bombs, instead he's still playing as aggressively as he has in the past 3 mids, and he's just getting picked every time, and you can feel it slipping away from LEGO here. Josh falls, so does Dmoule. They're desperately trying to defend Spire, but they've got Flip harrying them in the backside. And Condom is just choosing this opportunity to run all the way back to last, and once again they're going to be with their backs against the wall. 3-1 down this time as well, with Uber disadvantage. This could be the end.
Yeah, they should go for straight for main. Yeah, they are. The Uber's finally used right now. Smear's going to jump above the point while Ams just goes and kills everyone, and the cap's going to happen for the rest of his team. 4-1 the score. They just knew they had that huge Uber advantage. Ams just went in, did like 1 trillion damage, and Smear was like, I'll just keep the point, don't worry about it.
Yeah, they managed to really nicely bait the sticky det out of Dr. Phil. They had Smira jump up top at the same time as Onkaya flashed his Ubercharge off and then quickly flashed it back on. So they got the sticky det out of Dr. Phil without losing anybody and just instant recapped while they were all in spawn. So now, 6 minutes, they're 3 rounds down. This is getting worse and worse for LEGO. They need something miraculous here. I'm going to be watching Condom to see how they're all... Look at them, they're all bunched up here, LEGO.
Oh.
They're taking all the same damage. Dr. Phil's incredibly weak, and Condom once again gets absolutely pincered by Ams and Medico. They have managed to pick up both of those frags, though, and the fact that Dr. Phil and Josh took damage early on meant that they perfectly baited out Condom. So they have got an opportunity here to win the mid-fight. Onkaya surfs away with a glorious surf all the way into lower lobby. Flip finds the pick onto Dr. Phil as well, and Onkaya escapes somehow. This is nerve-wracking stuff for LEGO. 5.5 minutes now, still 3 rounds behind, but at least they won the mid.
Yeah, if they start rolling, they might be able to TCM off the back of that middle, which was kind of confusing. It looked like Publiclir were just going to have it straight away. Like, what happened to Condom is what the Condoms were originally made for. The Solis just utterly destroyed him, but then the rest of his team just managed to get these, like, picks and group up and then cap the middle out. Sorex tried to get, Izon tried to get some cap pressure on Spire, but the rest of Publiclir were already there, and they do have Uber now, so they can make some push. Condom's only on 70%. Let's see if Publiclir are going to try and capitalize on that, but I don't think they know it. I think they're just going to wait for some normal trade. Actually, fun fact, in I-55, I was sitting behind Saints at the time, and in one of their stalemates, the way they solved it was Smire literally just said, I'm going in, YOLO, and then like sticky jump. Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. Uber's going to be used by LEGO straight away. Uber traded from Publiclir, and this is just going to have them keeping their Spire, LEGO backing away. They do have the sniper of Dmoule to try and do something.
Phil's in! Dr. Phil just sticky jumped in through the choke point over the top of all of Smir's sticky traps, and he's going to try and engage here. Great play. They managed to pick up on Kaya as well. Dmoule with the excellent headshot there, and they've found all of the frags they need. What a great re-engage from LEGO. They caught Publiclir napping, and Smira wasn't able to do enough damage to everybody. And now Atomic, the last hope, and surely this should be around on the board. And this actually is still possible here. LEGO had one opportunity to make that happen, and they took it by the horns. What a great repush from LEGO, and they are now only 2 rounds down with 2 minutes per round left.
Ooh.
They can still do this.
All
they have to do is tie it up.
They just need to win mid. That's all they need to do. They won that last one. If they win this next one, that was a really close one. So if they win this one kind of okay, and then the next one they probably will win it really well, and they can use that momentum to roll it off. I feel like their pushes have been quite good. They've just Publiclirs have been a bit better. Publiclir switching up their mids, going completely this valley area, but Am's just going to get slammed straight away. Medico trying his luck now, but going to get taken down. Does manage to kill Condom, so that's decent, but LEGO are just going to completely have this mid. They're trying to chase into this flank area, get as much damage as possible, but that's actually just going to get them 2 more deaths. And now it's 3 versus 4. This has ended up being quite for Publiclir as they're on their grey bridge.
Yeah, Publiclir are playing this really smart. They're just keeping on Kaya alive above all else. They just want to delay. They're playing the time. They don't care if they lose mid, as long as they've got enough time to just slow the game down completely. So LEGO managed to take control of the mid fight, but now Atomic has cleaned up 2 in the backfield and might be able to find eyes on as well. Dmoule's coming in to try and help him out, but they need to be going now, and they need some kind of drop from Onkaya in order to make this happen, really. They've only got a minute and 43 seconds to secure this round. And AMS is heavy on Spire. They've got the Poot strat.
Oh my god.
Enigma would be proud.
Poot is in chat, go!
This is incredible. He's got the Tommy Slap just raining damage down onto them. And Josh and Dmoule, they've got absolutely no chance of jumping this one. But Dr. Phil's trying to put damage down onto great direct pipes, and they have forced it out of them. And Flip is coming around behind.
The Uber's going to be used onto him. He's going to get a shot onto Condom and onto Dmoule, getting these key picks. Izon still, Sorex even still sticking around. Is Flip going to take him down?
Cleaning up everybody there, Flip.
There we go. Yeah,
Great
Josh and Sorex
stuff.
as well. Yo, man.
And the Pootis strategy works out for them. Fantastic play. I mean, Onkaya plays these end-of-game situations really, really well most of the time. He knows how to slow down the map, and he knows how to just bleed as much time as possible out of the enemy team. Condom has already called the GG with 1 minute and 42 seconds left. I think that's really preemptive. With 42 seconds, they could wipe them on mid and go all the way to last, but they need one more fight, and it looks like they've already given up.
They just don't believe.
They've got the sniper, which is a poor decision in the first place. Maybe they're hoping for a pick, just like a crucial pick onto Onkaya, but it looks like this is curtains for the LEGO dream. They had their opportunity to make playoffs. They had it on almost guaranteed spot in the playoffs. They looked to be the standout team ahead of the pack, apart from Nerd Rage and Perilous. They threw it away in their fixture against DD plus 5 abs, and they've thrown it away tonight as well, although they performed admirably on Product and had a good showing on Badlands as well. But this is the end for LEGO's playoff dreams. They're going to end in 5th place, and Publiclir are going to end in 4th. So DD5F, the 3rd place seeding going into the playoffs. What a crazy, crazy season.
Wow, yeah. I don't think if you looked at these teams at the start of the season, you could have called it was going to go this way. Like, if you did, you either did it as a troll, or you're from the future. There's no way you can accurately have predicted that it would have ended up this way. And it's so cool that it did. All these teams have been really nice and close. This game was amazing, a great way to sort of end off the important games, you know? A nice send-off to the regular season before we go into playoffs, with Publiclir being your 4th spot team. Wow.
And LEGO are going to just be crushed. That's got to be so hard for them, because after such a dominant performance on Product, where they looked just head and shoulders better than their opposition, they couldn't pull it out on the mid-fights. I think out of the 7 mids that we saw there, and the final score is 5-2 as well, so Publicly put another round on the board at the end of that. But I think it was 7 mids that we saw, they lost the majority of them, and I think Condom went down every single time they lost. And that is just heartbreaking for anybody who's a LEGO fan.
Yeah, it's really, really tragic for LEGO there. not quite getting it, going down to 5th in the end. Like, I don't know I want to know what happened, like, between those maps. Like, on Viaduct, they were rocking it. Like, I guess Smeary turned it up. I'm looking at these numbers right now. He's got that 666 in his stats there everywhere. He did 6.6k damage and only took 5.1. Really solid game from him. Having some incredible middles.
Do you know who didn't have incredible middles? Dmoule. It was honestly Dmoule. I hate to call him out because he is an excellent player, and last season he was one of the big carrying forces for LEGO. But this season he's almost seemed kind of non-existent for them as a team. Maybe it's because other teams have figured out how he plays on the mid fights. Maybe it's because he's trying to change it up. I'm really not sure, but it's been really evident in their fixtures on Gullywash when they played against E5F, Badlands here today, although he did play fantastically on Product, that on the mid-fights he is really finding it difficult to engage and be that really strong presence for his team that they really rely on him to be. This team was carried to that 4th place spot by some excellent roaming plays by Dmoule last season, and this season unfortunately he just hasn't delivered for whatever reason. So although I think he is an excellent player, he's not performed when it mattered.
Yeah, he's really not doing pretty much anything if you compare him to like Amson, Medico. Both of those Solis and Badlands had like such huge moments, especially on the middles. Like they were getting so deep and doing so much. I don't even think I said Dmoule's name like more than 6 times that map. Like, no way.
Yeah.
He really wasn't getting anything going, which is a shame because that man could just pull out some monstrous plays, which is like what he's known for.
All he had to do was play passive and even counter jump Amson, Medico as they were going super aggressive at the mids, or just leave that to the rest of his team and just harass Publiclir from behind and make sure that they can't capitalize on those aggressive soldier bombs. But instead, he seemed to be playing underneath sometimes, trying to push up the slope. He was getting behind them and baiting his team out a little bit, so it wasn't quite working. Whatever the LEGO plan was on mid, it failed really quite badly. They ended up losing 4 out of the 6 mids that they played that were actually in regulation time, so it didn't go too well for them. And Condom had 14 deaths as well to Onkaya's 6. So I think really this was a story of the mid fight.
Yeah. Definitely, especially I think if you see 14 deaths on a medic, like you can only blame so much of that on a medic. It's like about getting him protected as well. Like he can't really do much to defend himself other than take damage to escape better. It's like kind of crazy to think about it that way. And just, I don't know, overall I think LEGO Badlands just kind of got crushed. Just like team play way. They could never really get anything going and they didn't know how to get anything going. They weren't really doing too much to try and stop what Publiclir was doing to them. Flip ended up with 30 frags. I've just seen that now to 15. Pretty beastly game from him. I remember him and Atomic doing a lot. They had some moments. But
compare though, Max, Flip and Smear's play on Badlands and on Product. Flip and Smear absolutely had a car crash game on Product. They could never seem to get in it. Flip wasn't hitting his shots. Smear was constantly overextending and dying. This time, it's an almost utter role reversal. Smear has 6 deaths, the least on the server. He's not overextending, just consistently pumping out damage when required, just being an asset to his team more than anything else, making sure that he's never a free pick for LEGO. And Flip just bodies LEGO. 30 for 15, gets involved in most of the Uber fights and is just putting up a massive amount of frags for them. It was like a completely different team. Maybe it's just because they're awful at Product.
Could be. Very well could be. Flip was a monster that game. That kill spree he had, like when he got Ubered and then took down, was it Condom and then just a bunch of other people? I don't even remember. He took down most of the team. Yeah, it's like the teams kind of swapped. Like, it was like Phil and Josh going huge on Product, and then just sort of running things. Josh was, like I said, a manimal, just hitting like everything, and then you flip it around to the other map, and it's like Smire, he's not missing now. He's just doing so much work, and then Flip is coming in, just cleaning everything. And just Medico as well. Just, I don't know, everyone on that team sort of had their role to play, and they did it well, and it ended up giving them the win.
Let's bring in some players for interviews now. We've got Dr. Phil, Ams, and Dmoule. So the Devilman Roma from LEGO and the Roma/Pocket from Publiclir as well. how are you guys doing? I'm going to throw it over to Ams first because you guys, despite a bit of a shaky beginning to the season, have managed to book yourselves that spot in the playoffs. Where did that come from? How did you manage to turn it around from Product to Badlands?
We only needed one map, and that's the attitude we came in with. It's like we went into the attitude into Whiteout thinking that we're gonna take it, and then the next map's gonna be chill. That didn't happen, so then we just said, fuck it, let's just take the other one then. No, we just took it.
Wow. We'll just lose this map, it's fine. We'll just win the other one. Don't worry
that's
about
how it went. That's the only thing that mattered. We just needed a map, so.
You guys are gangster.
It didn't stress us that we lost Whiteout. I thought that was the question. We were fine afterwards, and we knew we could take Badlands.
How do you think the season went as a total for you guys? Are you happy with how you finished? Do you wish you hadn't made it so close at the end? Do you think you actually deserve the playoff spot compared to some of the other teams?
I'm super happy we made the playoffs. It was like the number one goal that was for the team, just to make playoffs. The rest, doesn't matter as much. I don't mind if we mind fourth or third, or I guess we would kind of mind if we lost to DD5F in the playoffs, but it's still... I'm really happy we made it this far, and I think we deserve it. It's super close, so you could argue whether any team deserves it, I think.
Absolutely, and one of those teams that will have thought they deserved it was 4th place last season, Lego, who unfortunately you guys have just lost out on it. Dmoule, what were you guys going into this fixture feeling? Did you feel like it was in the bag? Were you ruining the fact that you threw 6 points away to DD plus 5 abs?
Well, they had a really good day that day, and we played really mediocre, I would say, against DD5F.
And how do you think this fixture went?
Well, we knew it would be super close. Not on Viaduct though, but on Badlands, yeah. But we didn't expect such a slow game.
Nope.
It was very fun.
Do you feel like that performance on Viaduct is indicative of how good you guys are at the map, or was it a crumble from Publiclir? Is it one of your better maps?
I don't know, we changed a lot of things on Viaduct. Like our scouts play. So yeah, it worked. We slammed them. But then, yeah, they played a better way of TF2, the recent game.
They woke up.
Go on then, give us your analysis, Dr. Phil Dmoule, of how that Badlands game went down. It didn't really seem that slow-paced from our point of view. The game ended 5-2 or 4-2. It was really when the time went to when the game was really over. But I can hear wrinkles of you guys going, defensive gameplay, slow gameplay. So what was going on for you? Did you feel like you were constantly in a position where you couldn't push? They were just playing passive?
Yeah, exactly what happened. Like, we got slammed every middle, though. But then, yeah, like they were throwing one player or two. We tried to push, but it was fucking impossible.
2 fast spawners.
Yeah.
Like when we actually made it out to the spire, then they had already one of the spawners, then the second one spawned shortly after.
Was this a game plan for you then, Amps? Had you decided to play it incredibly safe on Badlands? Or is that just how you always play?
We needed to win the map, so the moment we had an advantage, the moment we started keeping that advantage, it started from the first round when we won middle and we were holding top lobby. And people were coming up with different ways on how we're gonna initiate or what we're gonna do. It's like, oh, we gotta go, guys. But then when the pause came in, we just kind of talked. We were like, yo, we're under last. They are holding last. We gotta just play this way the whole game, and that's what we did. I don't think we really found ourselves at a disadvantage at any point.
Yeah, you changed Sams. You're becoming like Reason.
Sorry, dead rage.
I wanted to win.
Yeah, I love watching teams hold Spire and not push last. It's great fun as a spectator.
Yeah, what was going on at the end there where you decided to whip out the Tomislav heavy amps? Give us a rundown of who called that strat.
Have you cool strat?
I caught my strat. I was like, I'm gonna go heavy to tilt him. And that's what
I
I
love
did.
that, like, the best part about that play on Spire wasn't even you doing anything on heavy. Like, Phil just slammed you straight away.
I got hit like
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah. Like,
You know, what can you do when you're holding down
instantly.
most two and Phil's just throwing pipes at you? You can do
Yeah.
nothing. Especially
And
when
then-
Kaya drops you.
And then Flip just went ham after that.
Alright then, Dmoule, and Dr. Phil. You guys aren't in the playoffs, unfortunately. You must be gutted that you've missed out on the opportunity, but that leaves you as some impartial overviewers of the whole operation. How do you think the third place versus fourth place match is going to go between third seed DD5 Abs and fourth seed Publiclir?
I don't really care.
No clue.
Like, it's gonna be a super gay game. I'm not gonna watch that.
You're not salty at all. Go on,
I'm
Dr.
salty
Phil.
as fuck, man.
See if you can.
Like, we got 6-2 by the fucking DD5F.
Shake
Come
my
on.
head.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, Dr. Phil, how do you think it's gonna go down? Give me some predictions.
To be honest, I have no clue how to match up against each other, but I think DD5 might edge it out in the end, but we'll see. It depends on the maps.
Absolutely, it does. There's some kind of map veto system. I won't ask you which maps you think are going to be played, because it'll be a bit of an odd situation
Yeah.
for both of the teams going into it. But Ams, I guess you guys are feeling fairly confident against DD5F. Of the other teams that could have made it into the playoffs, do you think, given that you beat them in the regular season, do you think that's a reasonable opponent for you to have? Would you have been more scared had Lego, for example, made it in?
No, I think DD5F deserve where they're at the moment. Like, they got a pretty good roster. I don't know, people keep talking down on them all the time, but I think this season is just two good teams and then the rest is mediocre. And I think DD5F fit pretty well in there with the other mediocre teams and have clearly edged out most of them. So people I don't think they should be talked down on. They're a good team. They have really good leading by Honey, and they have some nice individual talent. Like QNX is sick.
You're boring, Ams.
Yeah. Wait, how can you call him boring? He just called his own team mediocre. Who does that?
Yeah, but he called DD5F good.
True.
So, are you feeling confident going into the fixture? You said before that you would be slightly upset if you lost to DD5 Abs. Is that just because you peg yourself as better than them, or you just want to win?
Of course I'm confident. I'm confident we're going to win the playoffs. We're going to slam you guys.
Okay,
It's going to be
okay.
easy.
Dream on, Sunny Jim. So, you guys are going to be going into the playoff games next Thursday. So that's our next. Oh no, there is more ETF2L action actually, because Planet Express are taking on Team Infused to find out who sits at the bottom of the barrel.
In a very important game that
Yeah,
you should
very.
all watch tomorrow.
Very important game, which decides absolutely nothing in terms of the playoff race.
And it's going to have
They could have
great
done.
play from both teams.
It probably will, to be fair. It's going to be a pretty close one, and we'll see where these guys match up. But there is also a game between Nerd Rage and Perilous, which is some kind of preview for possibly the final. It depends how whoever finishes second plays against DD5F or Publiclir, but that could be a preview of the final there. So catch that one as well, coming up on Team Fortress TV. And then there is the playoff game between DD plus 5 Abs and Publiclir on Thursday the 17th, and the semi-final and the final on Sunday the 20th. So catch all of that action on Team Fortress TV. But for now, it's bye-bye from myself, Max Money, and David the Win.